In a world where most people rush past one another, heads bent to screens, Terminal E at Dallas International was chaos. Daniel Harper pushed through the crowd, his carry-on biting into his shoulder. He hadn't slept more than a few hours in days. His trip to Chicago had been a bust. Days of presentations, false smiles from investors, polite words that meant nothing. His dream of getting his small design firm off the ground was slipping. He glanced at his phone. 5:12 p.m. Boarding started in 10 minutes. His 6-year-old daughter, Lucy, had made him promise, pinky swear, that he'd be home for taco night. She'd signed it to him carefully before he left. "Promise, Daddy, you'll be home in time." He couldn't break that promise, not again. Daniel weaved around travelers who never looked up from their phones. Everyone was in their own world, rushing to their own destinations. And that's when he saw her. Near gate E14 sat an elderly woman, impeccably dressed in a pale blue coat, her silver hair pinned in a way that spoke of care and dignity. But her expression told another story: confusion, worry, panic, rising with every passing second. Her hands moved in sharp, deliberate motions. Sign language. A young man in a business suit brushed past. A family with strollers rolled by without looking. A flight attendant walked right in front of her, oblivious. His gate was on the other side of the terminal. If he stopped, he might miss his flight, miss dinner with Lucy, break his promise. But her eyes, desperate, searching for anyone who might understand, pulled him in. He stopped walking. Daniel set his bag down and signed carefully. "Hello. I see you need help. I can help." The woman's relief was instant. Her hands moved quickly, almost shaking with gratitude. "Thank you. Oh, thank you. I thought no one would understand me. They changed my flight's gate. I don't know where to go. I can't hear the announcements." Daniel sat beside her. "It's all right. I'm here. My name is Daniel. What's yours?" She signed back. "Margaret Lowell. I'm trying to get to New York. I don't know where to go. Everyone just keeps—" Her hands faltered, her eyes downcast. Daniel gently finished her thought. "Everyone just keeps walking past." And Daniel felt the old ache in his chest. He knew that feeling. He'd seen it in Lucy's eyes too many times. She couldn't handle the fact that Lucy was born profoundly deaf. She saw only difficulties, never the wonder. But Daniel, he'd learned. He became Lucy's bridge to the world. Clumsy fingerspelling turned into fluent ASL. He dove into the deaf community, realizing silence wasn't emptiness at all. It was just another way of being full. And yet, he'd watched strangers treat Lucy as invisible again and again. Looking at Margaret now, he couldn't let her feel that same isolation. It was this gate, but they announced a change. I don't know where. Daniel pulled up his phone. Gate D9. They're boarding now. He helped her gather her things and guided her quickly through the crowded terminal, signing to keep her calm. "You're not invisible," he signed firmly as they walked. "You deserve to be seen." Her trembling eased. After a moment she asked, "Why do you know sign language?" Daniel hesitated, then signed, "My daughter, Lucy. She's 6. Standing lit Margaret's face. "Then you know she signed. You know what it's like." Daniel nodded, jaw tight. "She's the most extraordinary kid I know, but the world looks past her." Margaret reached out and squeezed his hand. "You're a good father." They reached the gate just as the final call rang out. Daniel checked her boarding pass, making sure she was safe. "Thank you," Margaret signed with tears in her eyes. "Most people look right through me, like I'm nothing." "You're not nothing," Daniel signed fiercely. "You're someone's mother, someone who matters." Margaret fumbled in her purse, pressing a business card into his hand. Elegant lettering read, "Margaret Lowell, mother of Claire Lowell, CEO, Lowell & Pierce Architecture." Daniel froze. Lowell & Pierce, the most prestigious firm on the East Coast, legendary in design. "Tell her you helped me. She'll want to know." Daniel stood there, business card in hand, as his own final call blared. He sprinted, making it onto his plane with seconds to spare. That night, back home in Austin, Lucy launched herself into his arms. "You came back. You kept your promise." They ate tacos together, Lucy chattering with her hands about her art project and the new sign she learned for butterfly. Later, while she drew at the table, he stared at Margaret's card. Lucy noticed. "Who's that?" He explained about the woman at the airport, how everyone ignored her until he stopped. Lucy's face grew serious, like how people ignore me sometimes. Daniel's chest tightened. Her words cut deeper than any investor's rejection. 3 days later, Daniel's phone rang with a New York number. "This is Claire Lowell. You helped my mother in Dallas." "She is, thanks to you. She told me what you said, about silence speaking volumes, about your daughter." Claire's voice softened. "I grew up with a deaf mother. I built my company around accessibility." "I just did what anyone should," Daniel murmured. "My mother came home crying, not from sadness but relief, because for once someone saw her." After a pause, she added, "Mr. Harper, I looked into your work. I think you'd be perfect for a project we were launching. A community center designed with accessibility at its core, especially for the deaf community. Would you fly to New York to discuss it?" Daniel looked at the bills piled on his desk, then at Lucy's smiling school photo. "When?" he asked. Floor-to-ceiling windows, harbor views, art on the walls. It was success made tangible. Early 30s, sharp eyes, presence that commanded respect. "I'm Claire." They dove into plans. For hours they worked side by side, her layouts, his sketches, ideas building on each other like music. "This design," Daniel said, pointing, "is for hearing people with deaf accommodations added. But what if we flipped it, built it for ASL conversation from the start?" They talked about circular seating, lighting for clear sightlines, tactile cues, visual alerts. A building that whispered, "You belong here." By sunset, it was no longer an interview. Between meetings, he and Claire shared stories, her childhood translating the hearing world for her mother, his nights learning ASL from YouTube for Lucy. They video-called Lucy together. Soon, Lucy was asking, "Is Claire there?" before each call. Claire sent Lucy a custom coloring book of the center's designs, asking her to help with the playground. Lucy's sketches were brilliant. Claire took them seriously. Daniel's chest nearly burst when he saw Lucy's ideas spread across a conference table in Manhattan. "Thank you for seeing her," he signed quietly. 6 months after that day in Dallas, Daniel stood with Lucy and Claire in the Finnish Community Center. The space was breathtaking, every line, every detail designed for belonging. Lucy's playground shone in bright colors, built with her drawings as the blueprint. 6 months ago, I almost walked past someone who needed help. Stopping changed everything. My daughter taught me that silence isn't emptiness, it's a different kind of fullness, and love learns every language. Lucy signed from the front row, "Dad, you're being mushy." The audience laughed, warm and united, and Daniel knew, sometimes the smallest act of stopping, of seeing someone everyone else ignores, is how you find your future. Because kindness isn't just a virtue, it's a language. And sometimes a simple hello signed to a stranger can change everything.